Get ready to dive into the heart-pounding adventures of the X-Men's third season. From unearthly encounters to epic battles, join us as we unravel the mysteries and confront the dangers that await our beloved mutants. Welcome back, fellow mutants. Today, we're delving into the electrifying saga of X-Men's third season. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride through a universe teeming with intrigue, betrayal, and cosmic clashes. Episode by episode, we witness the X-Men grappling with foes both familiar and otherworldly. From the depths of the Morlock tunnels to the far reaches of space, our heroes face challenges that push them to their limits and beyond. Dive deeper into the mutant universe with us. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of X-Men enthusiasts. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Let's uncover the secrets of Xavier's team together. In the depths of the Morlock tunnels, a fierce skirmish erupts between Wolverine's vengeful ex-lover, Yuriko, and her followers against the Morlocks. At the center of the chaos lies a mysterious machine, coveted by both parties for its enigmatic purpose. But when Leech reveals the existence of a hidden treasure at the tunnel's end, the stakes skyrocket. Venturing deeper into the unknown, our heroes stumble upon an astonishing sight. An otherworldly spaceship, its secrets waiting to be unlocked. With vengeance burning in her heart, Yuriko sees an opportunity to unleash her wrath upon Wolverine, her claws igniting a telepathic signal that catches Professor Xavier's attention. As Xavier grapples with the origins of the mysterious transmission, Wolverine finds himself lured into a deadly trap, facing off against Yuriko, now transformed into the fearsome Lady Deathstrike. With Gambit and Jubilee in tow, Wolverine plunges headfirst into the fray, unaware of the betrayal lurking in the shadows. In a breathtaking clash of wills and steel, old wounds are reopened, and bitter truths come to light. As the battle reaches its climax, Xavier realizes the true nature of the telepathic warning, a desperate plea for salvation, echoing through the void. As Yuriko's sinister plan unfolds, the discovery of the Shi'ar vessel unleashes a nightmare beyond comprehension. The Spirit Drinker, an insatiable entity hungry for souls. With Jubilee, the Reavers, and the Morlocks falling prey to its ravenous hunger, chaos reigns supreme. With Professor Xavier and reinforcements from the X-Men arriving, Wolverine and Gambit must rally their allies to prevent the Spirit Drinker from reaching the surface, where untold devastation awaits. As Xavier and Beast delve into the depths of the alien vessel, they uncover the sinister truth behind its presence on Earth. A prison designed to contain the Spirit Drinker for eternity, now inexplicably freed. In a desperate bid for survival, Wolverine and Gambit lead the charge against the otherworldly menace, their strength and courage put to the ultimate test. With the fate of countless souls hanging in the balance, the X-Men stand united against a threat that knows no bounds. But as victory hangs in the balance, Yuriko's vow of revenge lingers in the air, a reminder of the lingering shadows cast by the past. And as Xavier glimpses ominous scenes from the cosmos, he braces for the terrifying unknown that lies ahead. In a gripping twist of fate, the serene halls of the Eagle One space station are seized by Eric the Red, emissary of the enigmatic Shi'ar race. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Professor Xavier receives cryptic visions, compelling him to dispatch the X-Men on a mission beyond the stars. But with Rogue absent on another assignment, our heroes face a perilous challenge without their full roster. As the X-Men step into the roles of astronauts, a tense confrontation brews between them and Eric's mind-controlled crew. With Storm and Jubilee remaining behind to aid Xavier, the rest of the team hurtles towards the unknown, their resolve tested as they embark on a mission that transcends the confines of Earth. Amidst the chaos of re-entry, Jean Grey finds herself ensnared by an otherworldly force, the Phoenix. As the Phoenix senses Jean's silent pleas for aid, a cosmic dance unfolds, blurring the lines between friend and foe, power and peril. After a harrowing crash landing in Jamaica Bay, the X-Men emerge relatively unscathed, but Jean Grey's fate hangs in the balance. Suddenly, in a breathtaking display of newfound abilities and adorned in a striking new costume, Jean soars into the sky, christening herself as the Phoenix. However, her triumphant proclamation is short-lived as she collapses, gripped by confusion, memory loss, and an overwhelming surge of unprecedented powers. Meanwhile, back at the Institute, Professor Xavier's anguish manifests in a chilling manifestation. An astral projection of his own dark side, determined to annihilate the very heroes he once mentored. As the X-Men grapple with Jean's transformation and Xavier's inner turmoil, The stage is set for an epic showdown between the forces of light and shadow, where the fate of both mutant kind and the cosmos itself hangs in the balance. As Xavier's haunting visions lead the X-Men and Banshee on a desperate quest, they encounter Lilandra, a Shi'ar royal fleeing from the clutches of Juggernaut and Black Tom Cassidy. Lilandra unveils a staggering truth. Her mission on Earth is to safeguard the Macrane crystal from her tyrannical brother, Diken, whose thirst for power threatens the very fabric of the universe. But as tensions escalate and dangers loom, Jean Grey's enigmatic transformation reaches new heights. Embracing the Phoenix persona, she unleashes untold power to shield her comrades from the relentless onslaught of the Shi'ar Imperial Guard led by the formidable Gladiator. In a breathtaking clash of wills and abilities, the fate of worlds hangs in the balance as the X-Men, bolstered by Jean's newfound strength, confront cosmic forces beyond their wildest imagination. In a daring move, Phoenix transports the majority of the X-Men aboard Lilandra's ship, where the elusive Macrane crystal lies hidden. But their moment of triumph is short-lived as they find themselves under attack by the notorious Starjammers, a band of ruthless space pirates led by the enigmatic Corsair. As the Starjammers seize the Macrane crystal, a desperate struggle ensues, testing the X-Men's mettle like never before. Amidst the chaos, Corsair unveils a perilous gambit to use the crystal as bait in a bid to assassinate Lilandra's tyrannical brother Diken. Caught between loyalty and desperation, Cyclops is ensnared in Corsair's web of deceit, agreeing to aid in the dangerous scheme. But as the plan unfolds, it quickly spirals out of control, leading to unforeseen consequences and dire repercussions. As Diken's cataclysmic transformation unfolds within the Macrane crystal, the very fabric of reality trembles under his newfound omnipotence. Desperate times call for desperate measures, as former enemies must join forces in a last-ditch effort to save the universe from impending doom. With the Earth reeling from a barrage of environmental disasters unleashed by the unstable crystal, the X-Men and the Imperial Guard set aside their differences, pooling their strength in a daring bid to combat the unstoppable force that Diken has become. But even the combined might of mutant kind proves futile against Diken's godlike powers, as he twists reality itself to his whims. As hope wanes and despair looms, a glimmer of light emerges on the horizon, the return of the Phoenix, heralding a new dawn of possibilities. With the Phoenix's fiery presence igniting hope in the hearts of the X-Men, the tide of battle begins to shift. With her unparalleled power and unwavering resolve, she stands as humanity's last hope against the encroaching darkness. Cyclops, still reeling from the loss of Phoenix, returns to his childhood orphanage. There, he encounters his old friend Sarah and begins to suspect foul play by the enigmatic Zebediah Kilgrave, who seems to have a mysterious agenda involving mutant children. As tensions rise, Cyclops grapples with past rejection due to his mutant abilities, while Kilgrave's influence over the mutant children becomes more apparent. With scholarships and philanthropy masking a sinister truth, suspicions grow as Cyclops confronts the dark reality facing these young mutants. As the narrative unfolds, a showdown between Cyclops and Kilgrave looms, revealing a web of deceit and manipulation. With the future of the mutant children at stake, Cyclops must confront his own demons and stand against a formidable enemy. Amidst chaos and destruction, Cyclops' resilience shines as he battles to protect the innocent. Through sacrifice and courage, a new chapter begins, forging bonds of family and belonging that transcend the darkness of the past. As Archangel's thirst for vengeance drives him to the brink of obsession, the X-Men find themselves caught in a deadly game of cat and mouse with the immortal tyrant Apocalypse. With the fate of the world hanging in the balance, alliances are tested and loyalties strained like never before. Determined to put an end to Apocalypse's reign of terror, Archangel leads the charge against his nemesis, fueled by righteous fury and a burning desire for justice. But as the battle intensifies, the line between hero and villain begins to blur, leaving the X-Men to grapple with the consequences of their actions. As Rogue tends to Archangel's wounds, tensions run high among the team as they debate the best course of action against Apocalypse. With each passing moment, the threat of destruction looms larger, pushing the X-Men to their limits and forcing them to confront their deepest fears. In a desperate bid to stop Apocalypse, the X-Men embark on a daring mission to thwart his plans and bring him to justice. But as they face off against their formidable foe, they are confronted with the harsh reality of their own mortality, forcing them to confront their inner demons and find strength in each other's resolve. In the end, as Apocalypse is vanquished and the dust settles, the X-Men must come to terms with the cost of their victory. With Archangel's resolve unshaken and his thirst for vengeance unquenched, the stage is set for a final showdown that will test the very fabric of their existence. As Wolverine reluctantly takes on the role of driving instructor for Jubilee, their lesson takes a dramatic turn when a portal materializes in the car, unleashing the enigmatic Longshot into their midst. But before they can make sense of the sudden arrival, chaos ensues as Mojo's henchmen storm through another portal, plunging them into a frantic battle for survival. Amidst the chaos, Jubilee bravely covers Longshot's escape while Wolverine leaps into action, ready to defend against the onslaught of Mojo's minions. Back on Mojo World, Spiral faces the wrath of Mojo for allowing Longshot to slip through their grasp, paying the ultimate price for her failure. Seizing the opportunity, Major Domo suggests a sinister plan to use Longshot's presence on Earth as fodder for Mojo's twisted entertainment. With Mojo's approval, the stage is set for a showdown between the X-Men and Mojo's forces, broadcasted to the masses across the galaxy. Meanwhile, as Jubilee and Longshot navigate the treacherous woods, they fall prey to Mojo's cunning trap, leaving the X-Men racing against time to rescue their teammate. But when Mojo's broadcast declares the X-Men as contestants in his deadly game, the team must fight their way through a gauntlet of enemies to reach Jubilee. In a display of sheer determination, Rogue bulldozes her way to Jubilee's side, defying Mojo's twisted machinations. With their teammate rescued, Longshot and the X-Men find themselves whisked away back to Mojo World, where the true battle against Mojo's tyranny awaits. As Iceman embarks on a risky solo mission, Professor X's concern is piqued, prompting him to dispatch the X-Men to apprehend their wayward teammate. Along the way, the team grapples with Iceman's recent behavior, pondering the root of his sudden departure from their ranks. Upon reaching the government facility, the X-Men successfully subdue Iceman, but not without uncovering the heart-wrenching truth behind his actions. Iceman confides in Beast, revealing that his decision to leave the team was driven by a desire to care for his injured girlfriend, Polaris. However, his world shattered when he returned home to find her vanished, leaving him desperate to uncover the truth. Moved by Iceman's plight, Jubilee takes matters into her own hands, freeing him in a bid to uncover the mystery surrounding Polaris's disappearance. Together, they journey back to the facility, only to find themselves ensnared in a web of deception, orchestrated by X-Factor. As tensions escalate, the truth behind the facility's purpose comes to light, revealing a startling connection to Forge and his government-sponsored team. With emotions running high, Polaris's revelation shatters Iceman's world once again, forcing him to confront the painful reality of her newfound love. Returning to the mansion, Professor X extends an olive branch to Iceman, urging him to rejoin the team and confront his demons. But despite the offer of reconciliation, Iceman's heartache and uncertainty lead him to decline, choosing instead to forge his own path. In the heart of the Savage Land, a rebellion brews as its people rise against the tyrannical rule of Sauron. Led by Khazar, they confront the villainous Sauron, only to be thwarted by the unexpected betrayal of Zaladane, High Priestess of the Sun God, Garok. Meanwhile, in the bustling streets of New York, Wolverine, Beast, and Jubilee find themselves locked in a fierce battle against Sauron as chaos erupts outside a museum. As the conflict intensifies, Storm and Rogue join forces to confront Sauron head-on, determined to put an end to his reign of terror once and for all. But when Sauron seizes Storm, dragging her back to the Savage Land to drain her mutant energy, Wolverine, Beast, Rogue, and Jubilee embark on a perilous journey to rescue their captured comrade. Reunited with their old friend Khazar, the X-Men brace themselves for a showdown with Sauron and his minions, risking everything to save Storm and bring peace to the Savage Land. In a climactic battle of strength and willpower, the X-Men clash with Sauron, fighting tooth and nail to free Storm and put an end to Sauron's villainous schemes once and for all. As Storm's powers spiral out of control, unleashing a tempest of unprecedented proportions, Zaladane revels in her triumph, informing Garok of the unleashed Weather Witch. Fueled by the unleashed forces of nature, Garok grows ever stronger, his power augmented by the chaos wrought by Storm's uncontrollable abilities. With Sauron held captive, Garok reveals his ancient origins, explaining how he has dwelled within the Savage Land for millennia, his existence tied to the very essence of the land itself. In a desperate bid for supremacy, Garok merges with the island's volcanic core, tapping into the primal energies that surge beneath its surface. As Garok's power reaches its zenith, the earth trembles beneath their feet, a prelude to the cataclysmic clash that looms on the horizon. Storm, driven by determination and resolve, unleashes the full force of her elemental powers in a bid to vanquish Garrock. But to her horror, she inadvertently fuels his strength, unwittingly aiding in his ascent to unimaginable power. As the battle reaches its climax, Sauron seizes the opportunity, absorbing the raw energy of Garrock, triggering a cataclysmic explosion that engulfs them both in a blinding burst of light and energy. On the shores of Muir Island, Professor Xavier and Moira strain against the overwhelming power of the Phoenix, their efforts to free Jean Grey thwarted by the entity's immense strength. Despite their best efforts, Jean remains ensnared within the Phoenix's fiery embrace. Desperate for aid, Jean reaches out telepathically to Scott, drawing him back to Xavier's mansion, where the battle for her soul rages on. Meanwhile, Emma Frost unveils the truth of Jean's plight to the Hellfire Club, detailing the overwhelming power of the Phoenix and its hold over Jean's psyche. As Jean succumbs to the Phoenix's influence, she flees the safety of Xavier's mansion, drawn inexorably towards the machinations of the Hellfire Club. With his keen senses, Wolverine tracks Jean's scent to the Hellfire Club's lair, setting the stage for a climactic showdown between the X-Men and the Inner Circle. In the heat of battle, Jean falls prey to the seductive manipulations of Jason Wingard, the mastermind of the Hellfire Club. Ensnared by his psychic machinations, Jean becomes a weapon turned against her friends, her powers twisted to serve Wingard's nefarious agenda. As the X-Men clash with the Inner Circle, they must also confront the heartbreaking reality of their friend's betrayal, fighting tooth and nail to free Jean from the clutches of the Phoenix's influence. As Professor Xavier races against time to locate the missing X-Men, Emma Frost emerges as a formidable obstacle, thwarting his every attempt to pierce the veil of the Hellfire Club's secrecy. Trapped within the confines of the Hellfire Club's lair, the X-Men find themselves facing insurmountable odds, their only hope resting on the shoulders of Wolverine as he wages a one-man war against their captors. Meanwhile, Xavier squares off against Emma Frost, their clash of wills serving as a backdrop to the desperate struggle unfolding within the depths of the Hellfire Club. As the X-Men fight to break through the mental barriers surrounding Jean, they desperately attempt to reignite the spark of her true self amidst the overwhelming darkness of the Phoenix's influence. Just as all seems lost, a glimmer of hope emerges as Scott's voice reaches Jean, prompting a momentary respite from the Phoenix's control and allowing her to free her friends from their captivity. But even as victory seems within reach, the Phoenix's power surges forth once more, overwhelming Jean's fragile grip on reality and plunging her into the depths of darkness. In a tragic twist of fate, Jean succumbs to the overwhelming power of the Phoenix, her transformation into the Dark Phoenix heralding a new chapter of darkness and despair for the X-Men and all who stand in her path. As the X-Men plead with the Phoenix to relinquish its hold on Jean, their efforts are met with fierce resistance as the entity's destructive impulses threaten to tear the team apart. The overwhelming power of the Phoenix radiates across the cosmos, drawing the attention of even the mightiest heroes like Thor and Doctor Strange, who sense the impending danger lurking within. Driven by an insatiable hunger for energy, the Dark Phoenix ventures beyond the reaches of the Dabari star system, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. Desperate to prevent the annihilation of the universe, the X-Men embark on a perilous mission to confront the Phoenix and free Jean from its grasp. But as they face off against the unstoppable force of the Dark Phoenix, the X-Men find themselves outmatched and outgunned, their very survival hanging in the balance. In a last-ditch effort to save Jean, Professor Xavier engages the Phoenix in a battle of wills within the depths of her mind. Aided by Jean's own inner strength, through sheer determination, they manage to imprison the Phoenix within Jean's psyche, temporarily halting its rampage. However, the respite is short-lived, as Lilandra of the Shi'ar decrees that Jean Grey, now fused with the Phoenix, must be destroyed to prevent further catastrophe. In the hallowed halls of the Shi'ar court, Lilandra lays bare the staggering extent of the Dark Phoenix's destruction, condemning Jean Grey to death for her transformation into the legendary Destroyer. Determined to fight for Jean's life, Professor Xavier invokes the ancient rite of the Trial of Combat, pitting the X-Men against the formidable Shi'ar Imperial Guard in a battle for custody of Jean Grey, Dark Phoenix. As the X-Men and the Imperial Guard clash on the desolate plains of the blue area of the moon, the fate of Jean's very being and the survival of the universe itself hang in the balance. With powers and abilities pushed to the limit, the X-Men face off against their alien adversaries, fighting tooth and nail to prove Jean's worth and redeem her from the grip of the Dark Phoenix's influence. As the battle rages on, alliances are tested, sacrifices made, and destinies intertwined, culminating in a climactic showdown that will determine the fate of Jean Grey and the universe itself. In the end, only one truth remains certain. The outcome of the trial of combat will shape the future of all who dwell among the stars. As Cyclops and Storm enjoy a peaceful moment at Xavier's mansion, their tranquility is shattered by the urgent alert of a crash landing nearby. The arrival of Corsair, leader of the Starjammers, brings startling revelations that shake Cyclops to his core. With the arrival of Ragnar, tensions escalate as old wounds are reopened and secrets laid bare. Cyclops grapples with the possibility that Corsair may be his long-lost father, a revelation that adds a new layer of complexity to their already precarious situation. As they flee from Ragnar's relentless pursuit, Cyclops, Storm, and Corsair find themselves embroiled in a deadly game of cat and mouse, with Jandra's life hanging in the balance. Corsair shares his heartbreaking backstory, shedding light on the tragic events that tore his family apart. With Storm's help, Cyclops must navigate the murky waters of deceit and betrayal, ultimately confronting Ragnar and his sinister plot to silence Jandra for good. With the aid of the rebellious Shi'ar crew member, they stage a daring rescue mission to free Corsair from Ragnar's clutches. In a climactic showdown, the combined forces of the X-Men and the Starjammers unite against Ragnar and his cohorts, emerging victorious and securing Corsair's freedom. With Ragnar defeated and Jandra safe, Cyclops and Corsair find closure amidst the chaos, forging a newfound bond forged in the crucible of adversity. As Wolverine meditates in solitude, a titanic crash rocks the earth behind him, setting the stage for a showdown with the enigmatic colony. Meanwhile, Rogue finds herself entangled in a web of deception as an unexpected reunion with Cody Robbins takes a dangerous turn. Trusting in Cody's promise of a solution to her powers, Rogue is blindsided by betrayal as she falls into the colony's trap, setting the stage for a deadly confrontation in the heart of the desert. As Wolverine uncovers the colony's insidious plot to infect humanity with parasitic reptiles, the X-Men rally to confront the looming threat. But Rogue's sudden decision to embark on a vacation throws a wrench into their plans, leaving the team divided at a critical moment. With the fate of humanity hanging in the balance, Wolverine, Rogue, and the rest of the X-Men must unite against the colony's relentless assault. But as the battle reaches its climax, betrayal strikes from within, plunging Rogue and her teammates into a desperate struggle for survival. In a stunning twist of fate, Wolverine emerges as the unlikely hero, defying the colony's infection with his indomitable healing factor. With his sacrifice, Rogue gains the power to cure herself and her teammates, turning the tide of battle in their favor. In a final showdown, Professor X taps into the minds of the Brood's giant whale ally, unleashing a devastating sonic assault that decimates the colony's forces and secures victory for the X-Men. Subscribe now for more thrilling X-Men content and become part of our mutant family. Share your favorite moments from the 3rd season in the comments below, and let's keep the mutant magic alive together. Don't forget to like, share, and spread the word to fellow X-Men fans.